Okay, it's 12 a.m. It's after 12 a.m. from what was December 19th a few minutes ago to now December 20th, 2021. And I was just like talking out loud to myself as if I had an imaginary audience, or I may have an audience for all that I know. Anyways, I was talking about these, jokingly, I said something about these wafers that are right here beside me. And because I noticed that I had a reduction in acid reflux, and um, whereas last night I ate the same food for dinner, basically. Yes, the faucet in the kitchen is dripping. What? Yes, the faucet in the kitchen is on a drip so that the pipes don't freeze. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I ate the same thing as I ate last night. Okay, a sandwich, right? The only other thing that I didn't include tonight was the orange juice that I had last night with rice milk powder. Okay. But if I hadn't had these wafers after I ate the sandwich just now, I had another two wafers, whereas I only had one wafer earlier. No, it was two, I believe. I had another one shortly after I ended the first recording about when I was trying the wafer for the first time. So I had two earlier and two after I ate the sandwich. I noticed that it helped with my indigestion that I would normally have otherwise without that. So one of the sitcoms my mother watches in the evening time, one of the actors was jokingly saying, "Oh, in a sarcastic way," because of, let's say, my claims that I do. Okay, wait. Just ignore what I just said. He was joking in general to, let's say, the general public about mustard being an antidote, right? I never said mustard was an antidote to anything. I use turmeric, but turmeric is used to make mustard with, let's say, a vinegar. I use a gluten-free variety of vinegar. So it's just that, it's just he was just blurting out something that I thought was funny about him thinking mustard was in a sarcastic way antidote to something. Anyways, so and when I was looking at these and thinking that they were the antidote for, let's say, more acid reflux, and they're vegan, they're good, and indigestion. Like, it's probably because the sodium bicarbonate. Yeah, sodium bicarbonate is in there, which is baking soda. That's probably why. That's the antacid working with these wafers. And I was joking about, like, oh, welcome to my church. It's like, at my church, you get these. You know what I'm saying? There are like what they call cannabis clubs in, let's say, California and Colorado. I've seen on television where they have, let's say, the cannabis church or something like that, kind of like peyote is with the Native American church. But people who have, let's say, a medical cannabis license, and they have, let's say, other people um, that also have a medical cannabis license. They start like their own little club or church or whatever it may be. I don't have one, but this is the whole antidote here is this wafer. You see, I bet Unicorn Girl smells like this chocolate wafer. Maybe she should buy a package of these wafers that I forget what they're called already. The company name. I have screenshots of what the original packaging was labeled as. Yeah, I want her to buy a package of these, put her nose real up close to it, you know? And that's the way I know how she would smell. Mm. Maybe, I don't know. Um, you can like placebo smoke these things. I used to do that. I used to do that actually. I remember doing that once before. Like, because they're porous, you know. It's not when if anything, it makes you want to smoke. If you do that, it makes actually I got a huge craving to smoke a Dijon Black. You know? I had a joke about the B6 booster being, let's say, this is the body of Christ, right? And the B6 booster is my blood, right? I was joking. Duh. Oh, not the Charles Manson dude. Oh. I was friends with a deadhead. People who, a group of people who were, let's say, they're about almost 20 years older than me. Well, 15 years. They're about 15 to 20 years older than me, I believe. Yeah, 15 to 20 years older than me. Was to hang out with them at a art park in up northern New Jersey. And yeah, they used to be big fans of the Grateful Dead. They're the name for those type of groupies or followers. They don't. I wouldn't say groupies. He used to say the word groupie of, let's say, groupies are people who usually follow, like, become followers of, let's say, indie indie artists, like very like town famous like groups or bands, things like that. The groupies would be the ones that would, like, latch on and secretly like follow and or their type of lifestyle or something, or wherever they move to they would follow, you know but okay, he explained this to me with, okay, and he was technically a bit of a, what you would call a deadhead, like a Grateful Dead fan or follower of the Grateful Dead as far back as the 70s, 1970s, whereas in the 60s that's when the band was founded, the Grateful Dead, I believe. So this guy, he knows one of my other sisters who's now married, right? He knows both of my sisters, actually. He just happened to be at the park when I went up there originally with my friend Adam, who I was friends with for 15 years after he was with my sister for 6 years. And my sister wanted me to continue hanging out with him in a way, to keep in touch, at least to make sure he's okay and stuff, or something like that. So, due to the separation between him with my sister, so I used to hang out with these guys. They're a bit of they're all adults, so I can say that they're stoners, all right? They're stoners, but they there's like this a bit of this like gray legal leniency policy of, let's say, based off of the crime rate of the territory within the vicinity, and whereas the police had more important things to take care of most of the time than to, let's say, take someone's like nickel bag of weed away from them, or to cause a problem. So they usually, with artists, they would, or the people who were familiarly seen in the area, they would be recognized, and they would just, the police would just drive by, you know, as long as it didn't get out of control or anything like that. As long as it was, the guys, they used to just like, they were kind of like members of the community within the area. That's how they were recognized. So they were kind of like the people keeping an eye over, making sure nothing got out of hand. If anything was seen, even like, let's say, really unusual or something, then they would just make sure nothing too serious happens. They'd keep things a bit, um, balanced. It's kind of like the praying mantis within the garden, that type of thing. So yeah, they would be known as, they're they're artists. So yeah, they're just let them do their thing or whatever. That's the way that they would drive by. So I went off onto that huge tangent over special church with the B6 booster drink that I usually have in these wafers is the Antidotes. Just joking around. Great. Look at Louie. What's going on there, Louie? Sleeping? Yeah, he's sleeping. He doesn't want to bother. Yeah, he hears me. Whatever, yeah. Yeah, they were quite experienced with what I know too. And see, okay, here. Another thing is, let me tell you. Now, Unicorn Girl may be upset with me. Okay, I can maybe understand how she could also be confused with the if she's upset with me. It could be possibly because she may be confused with where the negative energy is actually originating. It's not from me, it's from an outside third party. Okay, when it comes to someone being negative and not positive, or complimentary, or whatever it may be, or humorous. In my case, I'm trying to be a bit more uplifting. Um, yeah, I'm pissed off at some of the third parties in some ways, but not the females as much as the dudes in some ways. But I excuse them until I hear whether or not it's truly bothering someone else as a witness. Then, but okay, I know otherwise. I do get a sense usually when I look at my profile of who I am today versus who Unicorn Girl knew of me from before 18 years ago, for those 7 years. And she'd be, I could already pick up that she would be extremely upset if she wanted to see me or be with me about the burp. And if someone was trying to restrict her from doing that, she'd be pissed off at them. And like, she would probably defend me on that, within that whole type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I view myself more of like her home because than, let's say, any other dude in comparison, because of how she knew me for 7 years. 15 minutes is up.